Hey.
Bill, thanks for having me back.
You're welcome.
I want you to know you're looking at a new man.
Good.
Man that's happy to be here.
Excellent.
Very easy to work with, man.
Okay. And you're going to play the set list.
Happy to. Even though I don't think anyone cares what I play, but
Yeah. Well, if by anyone you mean anyone other than me, that would be correct. I care, and I don't want to hear the free jazz.
Right. Okay. Although I thought in this town it worked on a sort of one for you, one for me type system. How about two for you, one for me? How about all for you and none for me?
That's perfect, yes.
Great.
Okay.
Okay, mutual decision then.
Right, made by me.
Right. And I sign off on it, so.
Whatever, tell yourself what you want to know.
Well, welcome back.
There's a nice way to say that, Karen.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Down to Watch podcast, the podcast that asks, are you down to watch? I am your host, Kahmeela, and I would love to introduce my guest co-host for this Ryan Gosling adventure, Marcella.
Hello, everybody.
Welcome back. We're almost done with Ryan's filmography as of right now. And in case you missed couple past episodes, I will not be continuing on. I'm not going to keep hanging in the balance waiting for him to make a new film. It's once these next two, that's it. It's done. We're over with. The thrill might be gone a little bit, but
We were on a break.
right. I'm just going to have to walk away for a hot second because there was a lot of enthusiasm when I started this journey 3 years ago, 4 years ago. This took me so long to finish, but I am, thank you, Marcella, for helping me get to the finish line.
You're very welcome. It's been rough at times, but other times found some gems.
Yes. So in case you don't know, you can find Down to Watch on Anchor.fm and Spotify. When you listen on those platforms, you help support the podcast, and it's also helpful if you subscribe to the podcast there as well. Also, please know that there will be spoilers for the films that we talk about here on this podcast. Most of the films are relatively old, so it doesn't matter, or yeah. So this is episode 70. And like I said, we're continuing the Hey Girl edition with just this is the third to last on our list for Ryan, and I don't have any Ryan news this episode. Not really. Nothing exciting coming up. I guess everybody's still just hanging, keeping it low and whatnot. Just
And he doesn't really have social media, so it's not like you can check in.
I know. He has a Twitter account because I'm assuming at some point, probably when he was promoting Blade Runner, his people were like, just fucking get the Twitter account. And
I don't want to. I'm not going to use it.
Right. There's maybe one tweet or something, but
Hi.
Right. My people told me I needed to secure the name Ryan Gosling on Twitter. So, yeah, he doesn't have that. He doesn't have Instagram. I refuse to follow Eva. And so yeah. So I guess, Ryan's just doing his thing, whatever that is in a pandemic right now. I guess, getting prepped for that new thirst trap of a film with Chris Evans, which, yeah.
That's a hole we could fall down with, is a Chris Evans filmography. I'd be all for that.
It's interesting. I think it would be interesting because he does have a nice little variety of characters that he has played. Wait, no. Damn it. I always do that. It's not Chris Evans. It's Chris Pine that I'm always thinking about when I...
But to be fair to Chris Evans, he also does have a varied career, from teen movies to things like Snowpiercer and Puncture and, the other superhero roles. He has a very wide career.
Yeah. There's a lot of action that's in there. And I know that there's a couple of gentler roles for him too that I have not seen. I think there's one where he's somebody's dad or an uncle or something like that.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one yet.
But it would be interesting. Or yeah, we'll see where it takes us. But for today, we are talking about La La Land.
I can't wait to hear what you thought.
La La Land was released in 2016. While navigating their careers in Los Angeles, a pianist and an actress fall in love while attempting to reconcile their aspirations for the future. Directed by Damien Chazelle, written by Damien Chazelle, starring Ryan Gosling, Emma Stone, John Legend, J.K. Simmons, and some other folks that I don't care about.
They're not important.
No, but I did. It was interesting to me to see Thomas Everett Scott. Is that his name?
Randomly show
Yeah,
up
just like
as
for
someone
5
too
minutes.
old for her.
Right, exactly. First of all, let's give him a little more respect than this throwaway role. Come on, like, let's.
You want to stay for another? What? Where'd you even come from? Are you a person? It would have made more sense if she hooked back up with Finn Whitrock.
Right. But it just, yeah. And of course, okay, we'll get there. So our history with this movie. I have been avoiding this movie for a very long time because, one, I like musicals. Either I hate them or I love them. There's really very rarely any sort of like middle ground for me. I can become very annoyed with a musical very easily, very quickly, or I can fall in love with it like immediately, and then that'll be my new jam for like the next fucking month. And I was afraid that I was going to watch this movie and my feelings about Ryan would wane. I was correct. So this is my first
I did not
viewing.
see this movie when it first came out. I saw it when it was well after the Oscars and that whole debacle happened.
Which it would have been a shame had this movie actually won Best Picture over Moonlight. I tell you right now.
I've never seen Moonlight. I've like watched bits of it over somebody's shoulder on a plane, and I was like, that looks sad and depressing. I don't think I need to see it.
Yeah, it'll get you in your feelings.
Yeah, and I've never watched it. But I did enjoy La La Land. I like musicals. I'm a sucker for a musical, and it made me happy, and he made me happy. She annoys the shit out of me in this movie.
So fucking annoying.
And I like her. I mean, I can take her or leave her. She doesn't really bother me, but her character in this pissed me off so many times. I'm like, oh, woe is you, you big baby. So you didn't get a part, but you've got like the nicest apartment
Right?
I've ever seen anywhere.
Exactly. That apartment was beautiful. And
You've got
her roommates didn't seem so terrible.
Right. 3 great roommates. You're all hot. Like, shut up about your life.
Right. Like, oh, no, I have to go back home now that I didn't. Whatever. Yeah, like, I don't understand why these two were cast in this musical. Like, I know that Ryan has his Mickey Mouse history and all that stuff, and that technically he is a singer and dancer, but he is not. Neither one of them are on the level to be expected to hold and carry a musical, like a full feature film musical. Like,
well, I know from the very start, my first impression was, man, if I lived in LA, would I be pissed that they shut that highway down to
right?
film that scene?
Right?
Like, that's all I kept thinking was, I'd be so mad.
Like,
I had to find an alternate route to work that day.
Right. When they were filming Batman here, I was like pissed. I was inconvenienced for like 5 seconds or like 10 minutes to get to my car downtown and was mad for the rest of the day.
There's nothing worse than driving down a city street, minding your own business, and it's blocked off by a film crew. And you're
Right.
like, what? Because in Pittsburgh, that means a 20-minute detour.
Yeah. Exactly. Like, there's no like easy way to go around. Like when you have your route of where to get to it from A to B here, that is your route, and there's no easy way because like the fucking grid system here is non-existent. Like there's no
too many one-way streets, too many bus lanes,
right? Too many
streets,
hills.
What's a bus-only street?
Right?
How come?
There's like all these hills and whatnot where you think like, oh, I've missed my turn. I should be able to make the next turn and get that street that's supposed to be parallel to this one. No, you'll end up in a completely different city at that point.
Just follow the belt. What belt? What are you talking about?
Right.
No. But speaking of traffic and rage, I love the look he gives her.
Yes.
After the musical number when she's still fucking around in her car and doesn't pull off any.
It's just
Such old man stink face.
I know. It's just like no, 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 ma'am. Shame on you. Shame, which she deserved because she was
She did.
fucking around.
And she was like, I guess I should go. And she goes to an audition where I love that the trivia is that this kind of happened to Ryan.
Yeah, I think that's what they were.
He had
what
an
it says.
emotional audition and somebody took a call during it.
That's so fucked up. Like that's
It's so fucked
It's
up.
rude. Like, come on. Is it really necessary? Like, you have your auditions are set for a specific time. Like, I'm pretty sure you can wait the next 30 seconds. Let this actor get through the scene that they're auditioning for you.
This movie makes acting look like it sucks hard.
Oh yeah, I'm absolutely sure that is. I know for a fact. I mean, now in my 45th year on this earth, it's definitely not the life for me. But I knew years ago, it's like I can't take. I'm much too fragile to take that kind of judgment.
Fragile, and I get pissed off easily. So had somebody taken a call and interrupted me while I was in the zone, I might have snapped. And then nope, I get banned. But she eats so much shit in this movie.
Yeah.
And she's not talented.
No, she's not. It's not good. She's not good. And also, so like, yeah, Emma Stone, I'm kind of in like the take her or leave her kind of thing. She doesn't actively bother me. It's just not like a Julianne Moore situation or like the other Emma. That's always
I like Emma Watson.
No, not Emma Watson.
Okay.
Roberts.
Oh.
Yeah, the ones in all the American Horror Stories.
She annoys the shit out of me.
I want to smush her face so badly.
So bad.
But,
like grapefruit in the face.
Right? Just
like James Cagney style.
Yes. And but like Emma, it's just I don't know, it just didn't feel good. This role didn't feel good for her, and I'm afraid for her. I feel like she is losing too much weight. Like she is, or has lost too much weight. Like she just gets skinnier and skinnier and smaller every movie that I see her in, and it doesn't seem healthy. I think
she's about to have a baby.
Is she?
Mm-hmm.
Good. Hopefully that helps her get to a healthy weight, because I mean she was very. I thought she looked nice in Easy A was when I first saw her, I guess, and she was like a decent size then. But I understand women's weight fluctuates all the time as a woman.
Well, I mean, in Hollywood,
and also Hollywood.
If you look back at Easy A, she was downright thick.
Mm-hmm.
By Hollywood standards, compared to La La Land.
Right, exactly. Like she was probably like what, a size maybe 6 in Easy A.
Right. Now she's maybe a 1.
Right. So, but yeah, so
I think they were casted because they have incredible chemistry together. Like old Hollywood, old Hollywood, they used to do multiple movies together, and it was how many different ways can they fall in love? Kind of like American, what was that? John Cusack and Catherine Zeta-Jones movie.
Oh, American Sweethearts?
Yes, kind of like that. Like you want to see them in a movie together. After what was the first one?
With the Emma and Ryan?
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't Crazy, was it? Was it?
Yes, Crazy
Stupid Love?
Love? Yeah.
Okay.
They had insane chemistry in that, and I think it was kind of a thing. Again, they have insane chemistry in this.
I don't know. First of all, I feel like Ryan has insane chemistry with whomever he's sharing the screen with.
With a lamppost.
Exactly. I.e. Lars and the Real Girl. So,
or a 60-year-old black lady on a dock, as we see later on in the movie.
Exactly. So I'm not gonna give him too many kudos for the pairing himself. I don't like it when Hollywood keeps pairing up the same actors and actresses as on-screen couples, because it's like I feel like I've seen this, we've done this, let's try it, let's branch out, let's do some more, let's find other actresses or find other actors to have them work with, because it's like, especially when you get really these iconic roles behind them, like anytime like Sandra Bullock and Keanu Reeves, like I know that they did Speed together, and like we all loved that little sort of kind of relationship that they had in that, and then like years later it was the Lake House.
Yeah.
It's not
lightning didn't strike twice.
right. And it's just not. It's
But
not,
Drew Barrymore and Adam Sandler consistently are adorable together. Wedding Singer, the one where she lost her memory.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't. And none of them. I just don't like it. I feel like it's a cop out, and I feel like it's
Lazy writing.
Yeah, it's lazy writing,
casting.
and you're just not. You're not giving another actor a chance, and it's the same akin to like Eddie Murphy playing all of the family in in whatever that movie is.
And in Coming to America, do you have to play 60% of the people in this movie? I mean, it's funny, but
yeah, but it's just like, I mean, I feel like we could give some other folks work. Especially like there's a lot of black working actors that could use the gig, Eddie.
Right, and they're funny,
right? Let's share the wealth a little bit, friend. But like, so it was the way that Ryan's character, like aside from his old man like frown at her, like one of the first things out of his mouth when we see him, he's talking to his sister, he's having an argument with his sister. And she's trying to fix him up with someone. His first thing is like, does she like jazz? And she's like, I don't know. He's like, what if she doesn't like jazz? And what are we going to talk about? Way to introduce a fucking one-note character. Like this.
Yeah.
What? What are we going to talk about? And then he moves on to be like this impossible. When he does.
Find out his name?
Sebastian. And I only found that out looking through the IMDb trivia because I don't remember hearing his name.
Anyone ever saying it?
I don't remember it at all. Even at the end when when she goes to his club and it's like Sebs, and I'm like, why is that important?
What's that mean? Oh. Whoops. You could have picked something better.
Right. So, yeah, and then he becomes even more impossible when he and Emma are talking and she's like, just let me get this out of the way. I don't like jazz. And it becomes his full-on fucking mission to educate her. It's like, come work right now. We're going immediately. Like that is.
But how much did you love their first interaction at that pool party, though?
Oh, that was adorable. Like
when she realized who he was and made them play that song. And when it dawned on him who she was, he was so pissed.
And I love how she's overacting like the whole, like she's into it, and like while he's playing, and then even after the fact when he's just like, you don't ask a serious musician to play Iran.
And he gets to be Ryan, like, and J.K. Simmons, I don't even know why he's in this movie. I keep forgetting that he's actually in it.
He's only in it for like 5 minutes.
At the beginning and then randomly at the end.
Right, unnecessary.
It's really weird.
How much did you make for this, J.K.?
Although it is funny when Ryan's like, he's telling him you're fired. And he's like, but I'm not though.
But it's a warning. He's like, no, you're fired.
There's charm coming out of his ass all over the place. This is like peak Ryan. This is Ryan I want to watch.
Oh, I don't know. Like sometimes it's okay,
even when they dance, he's so cute.
He's adorable. He's very cute, but I like my Ryan a little more gritty, a little more murder by numbers, a little more weirdo. I can't. I don't like. I can only take this straightforward. Like, I'm a charmer, handsome guy. Look at me dance.
Except he's a total dick.
He's an absolute dick. He's a terrible person.
I don't even know why she falls for him. He is a piece of shit, kind of an asshole.
Terrible person. Like the fight they have about her dreams and him, like, it's like, isn't this what you wanted me to do? It's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I never told you to join this band. Like, what?
Nope.
I sure didn't. What the fuck?
I do like the look on her face during that argument when he says something like, you just never thought we'd be successful. And she's like, what? Okay, so
what?
Not exactly.
I see what you're doing here, and I don't like it. I don't like
What this does, this movie does one of the weird things. Okay, so if it's going to be a musical, I just want it to be a full-on out musical.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to guess if one of you are crazy. Like, the observatory scene when they start flying and stuff.
Right.
Come on.
Like, hey, can we not? Can we just?
I mean, it's cute and all. Or even when they first get together and they're like dancing all over the city, it's like, is this actually? Did you just close the door on that ferryman?
Right. That's one of the things that get me lost. Like I can tell when a musical is just not doing it for me. I start to get lost in that kind of stuff. Like, well, what is actually going on right now? Like,
Right.
like in this walk that they're taking to her car, like what is actually happening? Like, is somebody just imagining this going on, or
Right.
is it
Are
going
they actually? How do they know the steps together?
Right.
Those are the things that I wonder. I'm like, why do you both know the same choreography to a song he just made up? But the little like walk he takes towards her when he starts singing, I'm like, hello, Ryan.
I mean,
I
it's
like
not
the way your suit fits.
Oh, the costuming and set design and cinematography was beautiful throughout this entire film. I loved everything about it. Every fucking piece of fabric Ryan wore. Mwah. Chef's kiss. But
Even when I couldn't understand, like when he takes her to the movies,
why
why
they're
is he
all
wearing a suit?
no idea. Because he's that dude, I guess. Because he's a dick. Because he's like, what are they going to see? Like Taxi
Rebel
Driver or
Without a
something? Oh,
Cause.
Rebel Without a Cause. Okay.
Because she had said he made some kind of reference to it, and she agreed, and then he was like, "You've never seen it." No, I've never seen it.
So yeah, okay. So I'm gonna say like the biggest gripe that I have with this film is the narrative about jazz. It's an entire fucking white savior of jazz film, and I think this is probably because I was getting like physically angry. Like, first of all, okay, he wants to have a jazz club. He loves jazz. He wants to teach the world about jazz. He wants to save jazz. Okay, white boy, calm the fuck down.
Right.
And then he's telling her the history of jazz. Not once is mentioned that people of color, these black people that were like, and the circumstances in which they were brought and shoved into this New Orleans house. Like, it's okay. All right, dude, whatever. But what
Here's
really,
your version of jazz,
right,
Ryan.
But what really got my goat was when we go to the fucking jazz club and there's that musical number where he's playing piano. It's a whole black ass jazz club. Black people all throughout on the dance floor, all the musicians. Basically, the only white people there are Emma and Ryan. And we center on Emma's bony, fucking non-rhythm having ass, like dancing on the middle of this fucking floor. And Ryan is the one that's keeping the beat and keeping the party going. Get the fuck out of here with all that. That's what really pissed me off. That pissed me off.
That scene?
It was unnecessary and it was insensitive.
It was so weird.
It was insulting to jazz. It was insulting to dance floors. It was a hot
And if you
fucking
look,
mess.
like people are looking at her like, what is wrong with this girl? Why is she doing this?
That's what really, I think, had the subject matter been something a little bit different, like had he not been someone who was trying to quote unquote save jazz, I may have felt a little bit differently about this movie. But
I love how much he hates that place, the tapas, and he takes that sign and shatters it, runs away, because he just finds it to be an abomination.
right,
I don't know why John Legend is in this movie.
unnecessary. Especially considering, like, I think I read in the trivia that he had to learn how to play guitar for this role. Wouldn't
He did.
just find somebody that plays guitar? Like, John Legend didn't offer anything. Actually, that's probably someone's idea. Like, well, he gives the movie authenticity. We're talking about jazz, so let's find John Legend. Nope.
Wrong.
Nope.
Plenty of other people you could have picked. One thing I did really like, and it just goes to who Ryan is as a person, is he learned how to play piano for this movie.
Yeah, fuck, dude, sir.
Like 2 hours
and he doesn't
a
even
day,
play it.
6 days a week. And it pissed John Legend off. And John Legend's a classically trained piano player.
Well,
and
rightfully
he
so.
was like, how are you so good
at
like,
everything? Like, what are you doing?
like fuck you, man.
How dare you? How dare you just roll in here off the street and learn piano?
Right?
Like, no big deal. It's fine.
I do adore the big City of Stars number the first time we hear it. And that's when he comes across that elderly black couple on the dock
Right.
and just starts dancing with the wife
Yeah.
or girlfriend or
Whatever.
whoever she is.
Mm.
And old dude is like, hey,
Excuse me.
because she was like, what's up, young boy? How? Yes, let's dance.
And to me, what I see is that woman is Jazz. That's exactly.
And he's just sliding all up on it.
But yeah, like again, like Ryan just fucking oozes chemistry. Like I said, with just anything, anyone, doesn't matter.
He really does.
So Emma's not
He really
special.
does.
She's not.
Her big, she's so excited about this big audition to be in Dangerous Minds meets the OC. Like, that sounds terrible.
It does. How dare
The
you fix your
words
mouth?
you're practicing.
Right? How dare you fix your mouth to say it and be excited about that?
Right. And then when she does get the call back and she's like, I think I made that sound bad before. And it's really, no, it really is.
It is. Is that what they
bad.
told you? Are those the one? Because it is.
Every
bad.
audition she has in this movie is so uncomfortable and just,
Yeah.
I hate it. I don't want that kind of, like, I don't understand why anyone would want that kind of life. Those people in that room were so disrespectful to her.
Yeah.
She said 4 words and they were like, thanks.
Like, okay. It's like like, wow. Like, you spent weeks preparing for this and they give you 60 seconds.
Where they barely looked at you.
Yeah. Not the life for me. And then also to see,
Nope.
like, it's got to also be a little disheartening or just weird to see all these other people that look basically like you. Like in the casting room as you leave, because I think they've made like a point of that with like varying versions of yourself.
Yeah.
It's like taller,
And she even
redhead.
says that in the fight with when she is like, I'm out, I'm leaving.
Yeah.
Then when because she decides, I don't know why. It kind of confused me. I'm not going to keep going to these, but I'm going to put on my one woman play because you've convinced me this is a good idea.
Right. Yeah, it was like that.
So-
the lack of success or whatever from that was what from her one woman play. Like the first thing, like you're a first time playwright,
Right.
And,
This was the first night of the play.
right. So and then you're gonna let this like just go ahead and just push you over the edge. Like oh, there were 5 people in the audience, and that's just I just can't do this. And then some randos, smart ass comment about you that you overhear in the
Right.
back. Like that's not.
I mean, you had 5 people in the audience.
Right. That's pretty decent. Like, I mean, maybe so what? Like 3 of them you live with, but still,
Right.
there were 2
I
people.
think the more pressing issue was that there was a certain someone who was not there.
Yes. And I can't believe he didn't have the common courtesy to call her, leave a message, leave a note, nothing, no heads up, nothing. You just don't show up. Like you thought really that you were going to make it in time. like as far from my understanding, you can't make it anywhere like in LA within like less than 45 minutes. So like even
Right?
if you like
She did have a very real response. Oh, you're sorry. You're sorry. Oh, you're sorry. Okay. Okay.
he was a dick. This character was an awful person. And to also like the band, what the fuck?
What the fuck? I don't understand at all. Okay. The Messengers, whatever.
Right. So they were like when they were like putzing around at first when he first gets there, and then John's got a drum machine or something, and Ryan's like a little confused, but okay. He's like, yeah, it still sounded a little jazz-like. And then John gives him his whole spiel about, oh, you're a traditionalist, you don't want to try anything new, and you're playing to these 90-year-olds, and what about the kids, and blah, blah, blibbity, blah. Sure. I get that. And I was on board with him. I was like, yeah, man, yeah, you got to do something new. And then they show them at their concert, and it's like, this is nothing. I don't know what this is. But
This ain't jazz.
No, this is no form.
I don't even know what this is.
No, it's not even very good. It's and the the outfits and
You
their
got dancers.
yeah, the outfits in their photo shoot. Like, who dressed you? Why are y'all looking? Why is he wearing a white baseball cap?
I don't get it. I don't get any of it. And of course, she's just like blown away.
Yeah.
But you can tell there's something behind her eyes, like maybe all this isn't for me. I'm not sure. Mm-mm. But even while he's playing, he looks bored.
Yeah. He does, like Ryan himself, he has this signature, this look, this smile that he does. Like when it's like he's just kind of, he sits there and then he's like, he's forgetting, oh, I'm supposed to smile. And then he smiles.
Mm-hmm.
So you see a lot of that in there, just like, yeah, this is what I'm doing. This is it now. This is me.
They get in a huge fight midway through the movie because he's touring with the band. She's practicing for this stupid one woman show.
Oh.
And he's like, well, why don't you come to this city with us? And she's like, my thing is in like 2 days or
Right.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
I can't just.
And he gets shitty about it.
He gets real shitty about it.
Like,
and it kind of breaks him up.
Which, understandably so. Yeah. Like, how dare you? Like,
you know, on one hand, he's like, you can't rehearse somewhere else. And she's like, maybe if it were like 2 months before.
Right. But 2 weeks? That's a lot to do.
Weeks.
Yeah, you can't be out of the city in which you're doing this. Like, there's a lot of things that have to go on. Like, she can't just pop up as like the day of and be like, okay, I'm ready. No. There's like, for real, you got there's clearly, right. Clearly she had props. She had staging to do. Like, you can't just, yeah, he was not a good person at all.
No, he gets real shitty about it.
Unnecessary.
But then he goes on to mansplain like how the music industry works to her.
Gross.
We're going to record an album. Go on tour to support that album.
Right.
To make more albums so that we can then go on tour. That's how this works.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for clearing that up.
So you're going to do this for a long time then? Let me go back to the... So you make an album so that you can go on tour. And then he says something real shitty to her about how she just wants him to fail so that she can feel better about herself or something.
Yeah.
Like, I think you guys have bigger issues than
you, whether or not you're going on tour with him, because he sounds very insecure in himself. And
yeah,
this is
super insecure.
And you seem to have your own insecurities, and I just don't feel like this is, which is why I'm glad they did not end up together. Yeah. I think it was still kind of bizarre because we get to the, like, she gets her big break for whatever it is, and then we fast forward 5 years later, just 5 years.
She did her show. She got real upset, ran home to her dad's house. And he got a phone call from an agent to his apartment.
Which, why? Was she living there?
I guess she was. Which, why would you leave that sweet ass pad you had with them? What's wrong with you?
Like, he literally was like in a shoebox. Like, ain't that much love in the world.
It's like one nasty room. He doesn't even have a blanket. It's just some sheets.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's taller than his bed. Like, his feet were hanging over the edge of his bed.
But he takes the call from the agent and he drives all the way out to see her. And I love that he just honks the horn like he does every time he comes to get her, which is another dickish thing that he does.
It's
Get out of the damn car.
Go knock on the door, you asshole.
Right? And so he has to tell her to make this choice. You go to this audition or you be a big baby, and you don't.
It's very similar to the Notebook argument where he's like, what do you want?
Mm-hmm. And she does. She goes on the audition. She gets her big break. And they do sucker punch us in the gut with this 5 years later.
Right. I do think it was stalkerish or adorable. I'm not sure. When she's like, how did you find me? Because I was also wondering that myself. And he's like, the house in front of the library.
I thought that was cute. It meant that he actually listened when she spoke.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Because that's all she said was that she grew up in the house by the library in the city. And
Right.
I think she told him the city,
Boulder
which is
City,
kind of
whatever.
sweet.
Yeah, which when I was a kid, if I lived across the street from the library, that would have been my everything. Like,
I know. I would have loved it so much. I would have been a real asshole probably, but I would have read every book known to man.
Oh my God, I'd been there every day, all day. Just like, this is where I am.
I might have become a librarian. That's how much I would have
Right.
been there.
Quite honestly, yes. So yeah, and then they fast forward us to like 5 years later, which it's bizarre to me. So like she gets the movie that the casting director called her about, and so she's now like a huge star 5 years later and married with like a 4-year-old. Like
Yeah.
what? That was one hell of a year. Like what? Like 5 years?
Yeah.
Like how am I? That seemed like a
You
lot.
went to Paris and got knocked out. What's
Right, that
happening?
seems like a lot. Like I don't think we needed to like absolutely like give her the full
No.
family and all that stuff, and
No.
give her the level of quote unquote stardom that she was having. It's too much, but
She takes a trip back to the coffee shop on the lot to get coffee, and they're all like, ooh. Whatever.
yeah. And so her and her husband, I guess they go out for a night and end up at Sebastian's. Now that we know his name is Sebastian's Jazz Club.
Which apparently she doesn't know his name either. She would have been like, hey, this guy I used to know always wanted to open a jazz club. Hey, it's called Seb's. Could that be? But no, she has no idea.
No, she sees the sign and she gets this look on her face and she starts to like, this might be uncomfortable. And then she sits down and then she sees him performing, and then this throws us into this whole ridiculous number of, she gets up to leave.
Paying attention.
Yeah, I was like, the fuck, like, because I'm like, how, like, she gets up to leave. He gets off the stage and he comes and sweeps her off to a kiss, and then we go off to their wonderful lives together. Like, we go through this whole montage of like, dating, loving, living, married, and buying a house and together and forever and yada yada yada. And when they were like doing that when they started, so I was like, doesn't she have a whole ass husband sitting right over there?
And a kid somewhere at home? Did she just leave her whole life? Like get up and walk away from her? No.
And then I was thinking, well, maybe that wasn't her kid. Maybe it was a nephew, a niece or something. Was I not paying attention? But no, it was all just a dream in her head. And
or his head.
Or his, yes. But there was
Not really clear.
There is a beautiful shot of Ryan just beautifully lit, and then with his hair just like falling just a little bit, little piece of hair in his face, and he's sitting there at the piano and he looks at her and it's like, oh, that's a nice wall.
Yeah.
Right there.
Well, it's kind of messed up because she, her husband asked her, does she want to stay for another number? And she's like, thinks about it for a second. And she's like, no, we should probably go.
We should probably leave because I'm going to go straddle that guy.
Yeah. And she's leaving and I'm like, is she seriously not going to stop and look back at him? And then she finally does stop and she turns around and looks at him and he looks up at her. Not a word. It's just like this acknowledgement that yes, we will still love each other forever because they
From
said
afar.
that earlier.
From a distance though. Yeah.
From a long distance.
Yeah, because absolutely, I'm sure she was like, if I say one word to this man or allow him to say one word to me, my whole life is shattered.
Yeah. You stay over there. Stay. No.
Do you want to stay for a Nope, sure don't. We should probably leave right the fuck now, sir.
Which she probably shouldn't have even turned around to get that last glimpse.
Right.
That last glimpse might have been too. It might have put me over the edge. Like, nah, well. Fuck.
She's like wobbling out, like weak in the knees all of a sudden. Like, are you okay? Yes. And just kind of a little faint really quickly. Oh, so yes, La La Land.
It just goes to show that two people can love each other, but they're not right for each other.
Yeah.
They're just not good for each other. And they never would have realized their individual dreams together.
Yeah. This is true. So one of the things that I thought was cute in here, and it kind of stuck with me, there's a line in the film that Sebastian says, "That's LA. They worship everything and value nothing." It was actually added in by Ryan himself when he heard his real life partner Eva mention it as a joke.
Which, okay, but what's the context of that joke? Because it's a harsh statement. It's a true statement, but it's harsh. And what the hell were you talking about that she was joking about that?
They could probably be talking about any number of things. Like if they live in LA, I don't even know where they live. But yeah. Yeah,
There's
well,
so many good trivia things for this. One of my favorites was the director and Ryan went to Gene Kelly's widow's house.
Yeah.
And at the end of the meeting, her dog got out and they ran through traffic because the director was like, we are not going to kill Gene Kelly's widow's dog. And they did find the dog. They did rescue the dog.
Because that would have been really fucked up. Had that.
Right?
So,
oh my God, we killed her dog.
Good news, bad news, guys. Are going back to set. Like we got to meet Gene Kelly's widow. She was awesome. Showed us all this great stuff. She was really nice and everything. Bad news, we accidentally let her dog out and he got hit by a car. So who's ready to do this next number?
I love it so much.
And I
like this movie. I do.
And there is another thing, like you're talking about the first scene in the movie, the first number with all the cars and everything. It's like apparently like the first 60 seconds of the movie when the cameras pan down showing the gridlocked cars, several of them can be seen having dents in the hoods and roofs. Presumably it's from dancing during rehearsals and earlier takes.
That's hilarious. And I feel bad because Mandy Moore, the choreographer, is underneath one of the cars because she couldn't be, they didn't want her in the shot, but she needed to be there to like yell instructions to dancers and stuff. So they hid her under one of the cars while they were filming.
Oh my
And it was
God.
109 degrees.
Oh, no. See,
I remember filming Batman in Pittsburgh at the stadium. That shit was awful. They made us dress up like it was winter in August.
Yeah. That was like similar, my experience when I was an extra for Perks of being a wallflower. It was ridiculously hot. I don't remember when it was. It was definitely in the dead of summer. I don't remember the actual temperatures, but like the scene was like the Rocky Horror movie scene, and it was done at the Hollywood Theater, and they couldn't run the AC for only like a couple of minutes at a time because of filming and all that. And then so like we had these boa constrictors on and everything, and like my friend Maddie, she had like a cheap boa and feather boa, and so like she was sweating so bad, like the dye was like coming off on her skin from the boa. It was terrible.
Like Hollywood, stop filming hot. Like stop putting your extras in these terrible positions.
Right. Yeah. It's this is just one of the reasons why I know I know being an extra is far worse off than being like a Tom Hardy or a Ryan Gosling or whatnot, but still like it's not okay.
With your AC trailer.
Yeah, exactly. It's still I'm not here to do the grunt work to get to that level.
Could you imagine some extra being like, do you mind if I just sit in your trailer for
It's so hot.
5 minutes? It's so fucking hot. I can't. I really can't. You're like, who? Ryan's so nice. He'd be like, sure. Can I get you a drink?
Right. Exactly.
Just don't tell anybody else.
Right. It's just you, all right? Just you. Nobody else.
The next day, 2 extras show up.
Next thing you know, where are all the fucking extras? Like we can't. So the soundtrack for this film, I was unimpressed with the music, and I don't know exactly what she meant by it, but I think I kind of know what she means by it, and it takes me back to Anya in the Buffy musical, where she complains about how her and Xander's song isn't like a breakaway pop hit. It's more of a retro pastiche. Yes, and that's kind of how I feel about this. Like the numbers in this film, there's none of them call to me to want to like download them or go listen to them on Spotify at all.
City of Stars is the only one and it gets stuck in my head. It's been stuck in my head all day, and it's really just the opening, Ryan just singing City of Stars, and it just like, damn it, please go away. I would prefer to hear a whole song stuck in my head rather than one line.
Oh yeah, that's annoying.
It's really annoying.
It's even worse like when it's the one line because you don't know the rest of the words, or it's just that one very prominent line. star rating 1 to 5, I give this movie a 2 because I'm really mad about that whole jazz narrative.
I give it a 4.5 because it's so white. Like, I love John Legend and everything, but this movie's real white.
Yeah, John Legend is like, he's barely passable as black.
You know, I was half asleep and I was like, is Joseph Gordon-Levitt in this movie? Nope, it's John Legend. Because they even sound alike.
A little bit, yeah. I give Ryan,
He gets all the stars.
I guess 3.5. I give it to him. It's still like, I hate his character though. Like, I like it, but
I'll give him a 4.5 because he's gorgeous.
He is
Can wear a
gorgeous.
suit. He dances. He sings, but he's an asshole.
He's such
So
a
he
dick.
loses a point, half a point, for being such a dick. Because he's not even a smarmy, like, Spike level dick. He's just a dick.
It's just a dick. Yes, it's not like that. Oh, I can still rock with you. Like, you're a dick. Oh, that was the dickish thing to do. I'm gonna take
That's why
your
you got
pants
called
off.
George Michael.
Right. That's some good stuff. I would pay real dollars to see Ryan Gosling in like an actual 80s cover band. Like that's something
That scene was so funny.
that's something that I would enjoy very much. Are we down to watch again? Never.
I've seen it twice now. I did buy it to watch it, but I got it really, 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 really cheap. So it can stay in my library and I'll watch it maybe once every 10 years.
Right. As you're like cleaning or something.
Yes. Or if I'm like, man, I really feel like I need to be bummed out today. Let me throw on this really unhappy story of people who just can't make it work.
Oh yeah. So where can you all watch it? Wherever. It's not
Wherever.
free anywhere, but you can rent it for anywhere between 99 cents to like $4. So, you know, it's there. It's there for you if you want to watch it. Which, yeah. The Bechdel test. Does it pass? It has to have at least 2 named women in it. I mean,
Considering I don't even know what her name is.
it's Mia or Mia.
Who's Allie? Oh, his sister's name is Allie.
They definitely never spoke.
No. And I don't think we know what any of her roommates' names were.
I don't think so. So I'm going to say it does not pass the Bechdel
I know.
test. Or if it does, I wasn't paying close enough attention. The Gosling gauge. There are certain types of characters that Ryan tends to gravitate towards. Does he sing or dance? Yes. He does all of the singing and dancing. And I do enjoy it still. Like, even though he's not a singer. It's not,
but he's got a certain swag.
yeah, but he still pulls it off. Is his character in a tragic relationship? Yes.
Yes.
A relationship makes me uncomfortable. Is his character eccentric? No.
A little. In his obsession for jazz, he's a weird jazz person. That kind of makes him kind of eccentric.
I guess. Or
He won't even unpack the boxes at his house.
Or just a certain level of dick still.
True.
It's just a dick. You
The
don't
fine
like
line
jazz?
between eccentric and dick.
Right. You don't like jazz? Let me go ahead. I have to change that right this second. Oh, God. You're the worst. Did he disappear into his character?
No.
Nope. Pretty sure.
This is Ryan.
Yeah, this is Ryan. Character smug level 1 to 5. Ooh.
4.
Yeah. Yep. He's a smug bastard. All right. Now we move on to 100 Reasons to Love Ryan Gosling. If in case I forgot whilst watching this film and getting more and more aggravated by the entire situation that is La La Land. Readings from the Book of Gosling, number 73. He loves granddad sweaters. His fave is a reddish-brown knitted affair with gray, white, and black tessellated shapes at the top. Buy it for your boyfriend. He'll probably look weird in it and call him Ryan. That's rude.
That is rude.
Number 74. He stopped Peter O'Toole leching over his sister. At the Oscars in 2007, actor veteran Peter O'Toole was getting a little bit too forward with Mandy Gosling. I didn't even know he had a sister.
Me neither.
Ryan explained, he did it for what I felt was too long and I had to step in. I said, hey, Peter, you're a legend and all, but you're going to have to get your hands off my sister. Mandy, we'd be so jealous. Ugh, gross. Mandy, we'd be so jealous of you if incest wasn't illegal. Gross.
Ew. Ew.
Stop it.
Blech.
Okay, stop it. That is not something I put in there. That is from the author of this film, but I do appreciate Ryan keeping old lecherous hands off of his sister.
Yeah.
I know you're a legend and all.
But I'm gonna need you to step back.
Back the fuck
I'm gonna
up.
need you to fucking nasty ass old white dudes. What's wrong with you?
Like always, you are not entitled to everyone and everything. Like I know history has taught you otherwise, but you don't. You just don't. You don't get to touch and have.
They are changing.
All right, hey. Next up, we have Blade Runner 2049. Is that the full name for it? Yes, Blade Runner 2049. I gotta say, guys, this doesn't look good.
I don't wanna.
I tried to watch it before, and
Here's the thing. Ryan Gosling, check.
right,
Harrison Ford, check.
sure,
Jared Leto,
yeah.
check. All combined, check, please.
So join us next time when we'll find out whether or not we can sit through the sequel to the original Blade Runner, which neither one of us really care about to begin with. And movie is 2 hours and 44 minutes long. So basically, we'll start watching now, and maybe like 15 minutes a day between now and next time we record. We can probably get through it. So subscribe, follow, and like us, and just get to all the things on Twitter at @down_watch. And the podcast can be found on anchor.fm and Spotify. Thank you for listening, and please feel free to tell us about your adventures with any Ryan Gosling film that you find suitable. Go ahead and get at us on Twitter, or you can send an email to downtowatchpodcast@gmail.com. All right, bye.